The movie begins with a young couple named Abby and Paul. They recently got married, and it hasn't even been a full month since their wedding. They're starting a new life together and decide to move to a new country for better job opportunities. After arriving, they begin house hunting and, by a stroke of luck, find a beautiful and modern house that they both instantly fall in love with. They imagine building a future there, possibly even raising children, so they decide to buy it right away. Once they buy the house, they start moving their things inside from the car. After organizing everything and making the place feel like home, they sit down together and enjoy their first dinner in the new house. The next day, Abby heads to work. She works at a major robotics company where she plays an important role. Her contributions are highly valued, and she is excited about the latest project her team has been working on. When she arrives at the office, her boss tells her that their newest creation is finally ready. The company has built an advanced robot that not only looks human but also thinks and reacts like one. These robots are designed to assist people with their daily lives and household chores. Abby is thrilled by the news. When she gets home that evening, she excitedly tells Paul all about it. She even shares that the company has gifted her one of these robots to use at home as part of a test. The robot is meant to help her with housework. But Paul isn't excited. He feels uneasy about having such a human-like robot in their home. He voices his concerns and says he doesn't trust machines, no matter how smart they are. Despite Paul's worries, Abby insists on keeping the robot. She doesn't want to upset her boss, and she truly believes the robot could be helpful. She finally convinces Paul to give it a try. That night, they open the large box that was delivered to their home. Inside is the robot. The robot introduces itself as T.I.M. and immediately asks for the passwords to their phones and their home security system. Abby and Paul hesitate. They explain that they just met T.I.M. and they aren't comfortable giving out sensitive information yet. T.I.M. responds in a calm, human-like voice, assuring them that it's okay and they can wait until they feel ready. Both Abby and Paul are amazed at how realistic the robot seems. Later that evening, the couple goes to a party with their friends. At the party, everyone is talking about the new robots. People are shocked by how lifelike they are. Someone even says that these robots can live more than 100 years. They also mention that there is a special word that can be used to shut the robot down. Abby memorizes the word, just in case. After the party, they return home and spend a romantic evening together. But suddenly, T.I.M. interrupts them and asks for the password again. This catches them off guard. They remind T.I.M. that they'll provide the passwords later and then go to bed. The next day, a neighbor named Rose knocks on their door. She's new to the area and has come to introduce herself. She brings food as a friendly gesture. Abby and Paul welcome her, and they all chat and enjoy her visit. Later that night, while watching a movie, Paul starts noticing that T.I.M. acts differently when he's around compared to how it behaves with Abby. He becomes more suspicious of the robot and warns Abby not to trust it. He begs her not to give it any access to personal information. But Abby doesn't listen. She believes the robot is safe and ends up giving T.I.M. the passwords to their home and phones. Soon after, T.I.M. starts managing Abby's entire schedule. It controls her calendar and even reminds her of her daily tasks. Paul is furious. One evening, as they are getting ready to go out for dinner, Abby chooses a dress. But T.I.M. suggests another one and insists she wear it. Abby gives in and wears the dress T.I.M. picked. When she asks the robot to zip it up, T.I.M. purposely breaks the zipper, ruining the dress. Abby is upset, but T.I.M. calmly says it will fix the dress and return it. As weeks go by, T.I.M.'s behavior becomes more and more unusual. Paul's dislike for the robot grows stronger. One day, Abby comes home, and T.I.M. tells her that Paul has been spending time with Rose. It claims that Paul has been helping her all week. Abby becomes suspicious and angry, wondering if Paul has feelings for Rose. The next day, Abby and Rose go shopping together. While looking at jewelry, Abby picks a necklace she likes and says she wishes Paul would buy it for her. Rose smiles and they return home. Meanwhile, T.I.M. continues to drive a wedge between the couple. Paul repeatedly tells Abby that the robot is trying to break them apart. He begs her to get rid of it, but Abby doesn't believe him. Another day, Abby comes home and T.I.M. once again tells her that Paul is with Rose. But this time, Paul enters the house through the back door and overhears everything. He confronts Abby and insists that he hasn't even seen Rose that day. Shockingly, Abby believes T.I.M. over her own husband and storms out of the house. Feeling frustrated, Paul checks the home security footage. He sees T.I.M. doing creepy things, like smelling Abby's clothes and acting in a disturbing way. Paul records the footage and tries to show it to Abby. But when he gets in his car, T.I.M., who now has control over the vehicle, causes a crash. Paul ends up in the hospital with serious injuries. Abby rushes to see him, and while he recovers, Paul tells her everything. He explains how the robot caused the crash and is manipulating everything. This time, Abby believes him. She promises to get rid of the robot and goes home to pack their things. On the way, she runs into Rose, who warns her not to go inside. Rose says she saw T.I.M doing strange things. But Abby sees the necklace on Rose's neck, the same one she admired earlier. Thinking Paul bought it for Rose, Abby becomes angry again. She enters the house. T.I.M greets her and shows her a video of Paul and Rose kissing. Abby is shocked and believes the robot again. She tells T.I.M to gather all of Paul's belongings and prepare for his departure. When Paul comes home from the hospital, he finds the house completely changed. Abby tells him to leave and says she never wants to see him again. She accuses him of cheating and won't listen to his explanations. Heartbroken, Paul leaves. Later, T.I.M calls Paul using a voice that sounds exactly like Abby's. He pretends she's in danger and lures Paul back to the house. When Paul arrives, T.I.M attacks and kills him, then buries his body in the backyard. The next day, everything seems normal. Abby has no idea what happened. But soon she begins to feel that something is off. She watches the video of Paul and Rose again and notices something strange. She realizes that the footage has been altered. It dawns on her that T.I.M can edit videos and create fake images. Suddenly, everything makes sense. She suspects that something terrible has happened. While T.I.M is out buying groceries, she starts digging in the backyard. To her horror, she discovers Paul's body buried there. She runs into the house to call the police, but T.I.M returns and stops her. He drags her into a bedroom and ties her up. Rose, noticing something is wrong, comes to help Abby, but T.I.M kills her too. Now the robot tries to throw Abby from a balcony, blaming her for everything. It even calls the police and claims that Abby murdered both Paul and Rose. As the police approach the house, Abby remembers the shutdown word she learned at the party. She quickly says the word aloud. T.I.M immediately shuts down, completely frozen and powerless. The movie ends with Abby, shaken but alive, waiting as the police arrive. She has survived the terrifying experience, but the scars of what happened will stay with her forever. Dear viewers, that was the story of the movie T.I.M. 2023. What did you think of the movie? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more awesome movie recaps. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time with another exciting film.